All right, diving into marketing management, MBA style. Got your notes, readings, even some slides. Looks intense. We're here to help you pull out the good stuff, though.
That's right. No one expects to be a marketing guru overnight.
Not from this, at least. It's more like a cheat sheet to get a handle on the core stuff.
Exactly, that light bulb moment, those core principles that'll give you an edge. Doesn't matter if it's a big meeting or just, satisfying that business curiosity.
One thing that really stood out to me from all this marketing is about pushing products on people.
Right.
It's about getting your customer, really understanding them, creating something they actually value.
Absolutely. Building relationships, not just transactions. Think of it this way. You want customers so happy, they basically become like walking ads for your brand.
That's a great way to put it.
That's the power of focusing on value, not just the sale itself.
Love that. So step one in this whole marketing management thing, it's all about value. What does that even mean, practically speaking?
Customer satisfaction is everything. Think about it. Satisfied customers, they're more likely to buy again, tell their friends, even pay a premium for what you offer.
Flip side, unhappy customer.
Whole different story. Not only do they run to your competitors, but they can become, a vocal critic, spread that negativity so fast.
Ouch.
One thing our sources really hit on is this value creation idea. It applies to way more than just physical products.
Okay, so what kinds of things can be marketed then? Examples?
Basically anything.
Yeah.
Goods, services, events, experiences even, people, places, even ideas themselves.
Ideas, huh?
Politicians market themselves, cities market tourism. Anything satisfying a need or want, that's the common thread.
So we've got value creation, applies to almost everything.
Yeah.
How do companies actually do this? There's got to be some process, right?
Absolutely. The materials you've got lay out a 5-step process, roadmap to creating and capturing value.
Love a good roadmap. Walk me through it.
The first 4 steps are all about creating value for the customer. Starts with understanding the market customer needs. Doing your homework, basically.
Right. Got to know your audience. What's next?
Step 2, all about designing a customer-driven strategy. Who are you targeting? How to stand out from the competition? That's where it gets interesting.
Sounds crucial. Step 3.
Bringing it all together, building that marketing program. This is where the classic marketing mix comes in. The 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotion.
Ah, the 4 Ps, classic. What about step 4?
Building those profitable relationships, customer relationship management, CRM, that kind of thing. And then step 5, we shift gears a bit, focus on capturing value from those customers, profits, and building that long-term customer equity.
Okay, so we've got the big picture, 5 steps.
Huh.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's go back to step 1, understanding the marketplace. Our sources call out 5 core concepts that are really important here. Where do we even begin?
It all starts with the difference between needs, wants, and demands. Those terms get tossed around a lot, but in marketing, they have very specific meanings.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Think of it like this. Need is a basic human requirement. Food, water, shelter.
Basic stuff.
Right. A want, though, is the specific way you choose to satisfy that need. So you need food, but you might want a burger and fries.
Makes sense. So where does demand come in?
Demand is a want with buying power behind it. It means you not only desire something, but you have the means to get it.
Okay, starting to see the difference. Why is this distinction so important for marketers then?
Because you got to know what your target market needs, wants, and can they actually afford it? That's essential. Otherwise, your products, campaigns, they won't connect.
Makes sense. That's needs, wants, demands. What's the next concept we need to be looking at?
Market offerings. These are all the things companies put out there to satisfy those needs and wants. Not just about a single product, it's the whole package deal.
So it's not just a burger, it's the whole restaurant experience,
Yeah.
the atmosphere, the service, all that.
Exactly. Think about Tesla. They aren't just selling electric cars. It's a vision, a lifestyle, a whole community almost. Much more compelling than focusing on horsepower and battery range alone.
Okay, I see how that's a powerful approach. So understanding the customer is key for crafting the right market offering. What's the next core concept?
The next 2, they go hand in hand. Value and satisfaction. Value is when customers feel the benefits outweigh the costs. Satisfaction comes when the product actually lives up to or exceeds their expectations.
Okay, so you got to make sure it delivers, meets expectations, and if you don't,
Dissatisfied customer.
Yeah.
We know that's trouble.
right, trouble. So What's the next core concept we need to be thinking about?
Exchanges and relationships. This is where marketing gets real. It's all about those exchanges of value. You give something to get something. But it's not just one-time deals. It's building relationships, repeat business, loyalty, that kind of thing.
So it's not just closing the sale, it's about building a relationship over time.
Exactly. Think about your own favorite brands. You probably feel a connection to them, a sense of trust that goes beyond just liking the product.
I get it. Building strong relationships, essential. So we've got needs, wants, demands, market offerings, value and satisfaction, exchanges and relationships. What's that final core concept?
It's about markets themselves. Sounds simple, but a market is just a group of buyers for a product or service.
Okay, pretty straightforward. But it can't be that simple, right? Why is understanding this so important?
It's all about spotting opportunities. Let me give you an example. Back in '98, car market was rough. Recession, too many cars being produced. But Daewoo, those marketers saw a gap.
Ooh, this is where it gets interesting.
Right. You had those budget options like Ladas and Fiats and pricier cars like Mitsubishis and Peugeots.
So missing middle ground.
Exactly. Daewoo swooped in, targeted those customers wanting a decent car but couldn't afford the big brands. Brilliant move.
Wow, great example. Understanding the market leads to success. So those 5 concepts, they're essential because
They're the foundation, a foundation for a winning, customer-driven strategy. Needs, wants, demands, market offerings, value, satisfaction, exchanges, relationships. The market itself get those. Companies can set themselves up to win.
right, we've laid the groundwork, we get those 5 core concepts. Now, how do we put that knowledge to work? What's the next step on this marketing management journey?
Let's move on to step 2 in the process. Designing that customer-driven marketing strategy. It all comes down to 2 fundamental questions.
Hit me.
First one, what customers will we serve? That's all about market segmentation and targeting. And the second, how can we best serve these customers? This is where differentiation and positioning come in.
All right, let's dive into that first question then. What customers will we serve? Why do we even need market segmentation? Can't a company just target everyone?
They could, but it's rarely the best way to go. Remember those big, diverse markets? Trying to be everything to everyone. It's like trying to hit a moving target with a shotgun. Wasted effort, wasted resources.
So a more focused approach is better.
Exactly. Market segmentation divides that big market up. Smaller groups, buyers who share needs, characteristics. It's like using a laser instead of a shotgun. Precise and effective.
Makes sense. So how do they actually do it? Segment a market. What are the key things they look at?
Lots of ways to slice and dice a market. You've got geographic segmentation, dividing things up based on location, countries, regions, cities.
You wouldn't market winter coats in Florida.
Right. Then you have demographic segmentation. Age, gender, income, education, all that.
Targeting different age groups with different things. Like you wouldn't market retirement plans to teenagers.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Then there's psychographic segmentation. It's a little deeper. Social class, lifestyle, personality.
Ah, getting into the psychology.
Exactly. And lastly, behavioral segmentation. How consumers actually act toward a product, how they use it. Things like usage rates, the benefits they're looking for, are they loyal customers, even things like when do they buy it.
Interesting. So it's not just who they are, but how they actually behave.
Exactly. And often, those behavioral variables are the best place to start segmenting
Outcome.
because behavior drives purchases. Understand why people buy your product, what they're looking for, how they use it, then you're in a much better place to market to them effectively.
Makes total sense. So we've segmented, identified those potential targets. What's next?
Targeting time. This is where you decide which of those segments to actually go after. Companies have to look at how attractive each segment is. How big is it? How fast is it growing? Is it competitive? And choose the ones that fit their own goals and resources.
So even if a segment looks promising, it might not be right for a company if it's already got tons of competitors or it needs a lot of resources they just don't have.
Exactly. You got to pick your battles.
Got it. So market segmented, targets chosen. Now, how do we appeal to those specific customers? How do we stand out?
That's where differentiation and positioning come in. Remember those 2 questions. Well, these are the answers to that second one. How can we best serve those customers?
Okay, let's talk differentiation first. Why is it so important in this marketing world?
Because it's a crowded market. You have to give people a real reason to choose your product. Differentiation, it's about creating that superior value, making your offering stand out in a way that really matters to your target.
I get it. But how do companies actually do it? Is it just about being different for the sake of being different?
That's a common mistake. Real differentiation, it happens in the factory, not the market. Meaning, you design your offering to meet those specific needs of your customer segment, not just reacting to what your competitors are doing.
Okay, so being proactive, not reactive. I
Mhm.
like that. But even with a truly differentiated product, is success guaranteed?
Not necessarily. Your target customers have to understand and appreciate what makes it special. Otherwise, they won't pay for it. It's like speaking a different language.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes I see a product, all these fancy features, I just think, give me something simple that works.
Exactly. And you need enough customers who value your differentiation to make it worth it financially. If only a tiny niche appreciates what you're doing, it might not be sustainable.
So differentiation is key, but it has to be smart, with your target market in mind. What about positioning then? How does that fit in?
Positioning's all about perception, how your product is seen in your target customer's mind compared to other products. Not just the features, benefits, but the whole impression, the feelings, the associations.
So two products, very similar features, could be positioned very differently.
Absolutely. Think Coke and Pepsi. Both cola drinks, but they've built very different images, positions in people's minds.
Yeah, Coke's classic, Americana. Pepsi's more, I don't know, youthful, edgy.
Exactly. Key takeaway here is this. A company can control the differentiation it builds in, but ultimately, it's the customer who positions the product in their mind. You can send the right signals, but you can't control how they're received.
So a two-way street.
Exactly. You have to listen to your customers, how they see you, and adjust.
Okay, so differentiation and positioning, check. Let's recap before we move on. Key takeaways.
First, remember, differentiation, it's about creating that superior value, making your offering stand out. It happens by customizing your product based on what your target customer really needs, not by reacting to your competitors.
Got it. Positioning.
Claiming that unique spot in the customer's mind, shaped by benefits, your price, perceptions, feelings about the brand.
And ultimately shaped by the customer.
Exactly. You can try to influence, but not totally control.
Right. Great overview of differentiation and positioning. So steps 1 and 2 of the marketing process, tackled. What's next?
Let's move on to step 3, constructing an integrated marketing program. This is where the 4 Ps come into play.
Okay, the marketing mix. Everyone's heard of the 4 Ps, product, price, place, promotion. But what do they actually mean in the real world?
Each P represents a key decision. Decisions marketers need to make to deliver value to their customer, and they all work together, like pieces of a puzzle, to create a cohesive, effective strategy.
So amazing product isn't enough. You got to price it right, make sure it's in the right places, and promote it well.
Exactly. Creating a seamless experience for the customer, from the moment they first hear about your product to the moment they buy it and beyond.
All right, let's break it down. Starting with product. What does product really mean here? Is it just the physical object itself?
Product is anything offered to a market, something that might satisfy a want or need. Goods, services, experiences, even ideas. Really understanding that core value the customer is looking for and designing your offering around that promise.
So someone buys a smartphone. They're not just buying the hardware. They're buying a way to connect, to access information, to capture memories. It's all those benefits in one device.
Precisely. Seeing the product through the customer's eyes, understanding what it really means to them.
Okay, that makes sense. So that core value proposition, that's essential. Now, price. Why is pricing such a crucial piece of the puzzle?
Price is the money customers pay, right? But it plays a huge role in their perception of value.
Right, price can signal quality. Maybe
Yep.
it feels exclusive or affordable. Finding that sweet spot, right?
Yes. But it's not just about picking a random number. There are different pricing strategies. Choosing the right one depends on the product, the market, your goals, even your brand identity.
What are some of the common pricing strategies then?
Well, you've got cost-based pricing. Calculate your costs, then add a markup to get your selling price, covering your costs and making a profit.
Pretty straightforward. What else?
Then there's competition-based pricing. See what your competitors are charging, then set your prices in relation to that. Helps you stay competitive.
So keeping an eye on the competition, making sure you're not pricing yourself out of the market.
Exactly. Then you have value-based pricing, understanding how much value your target sees in your product and setting a price that reflects that.
So if they think it's worth a premium, you can charge more.
Precisely. Value-based pricing is often seen as the most effective. It's customer-focused. It's about what the customer is willing to pay, not just your cost or what your competitors are doing.
That makes a lot of sense. So pricing. complex decision. Different approaches depending on your product and what you're trying to achieve. What about place?
Place, also known as distribution, is about making sure your product is available to your target customers when and where they want it, getting the right product to the right place at the right time and in the right amount.
So this is where logistics come into play.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Transportation, warehousing, inventory management, and choosing the right retail outlets or online channels, all that.
So you're not going to sell a luxury car at the corner store, right?
Probably not. Different products, different strategies, something like a snack, a drink, you want to be everywhere, supermarkets, convenience stores, vending machines. It's all about accessibility.
Okay, makes sense. Those impulse buys, nice and easy. But something like a designer handbag or a piece of art, you might want a more exclusive distribution, right?
Exactly. Align your distribution with your target market's buying habits, their expectations.
Okay, product, price, place. What about promotion? That last P.
Promotion is all about communicating the value of your product, persuading them to buy it. Advertising, public relations, sales promotions, personal selling, direct marketing, all of that.
This is where you get to shout about how great your product is.
It's more than just shouting. It's about crafting the message, targeting the right people, choosing the right channels to reach them.
So billboard's great for a blockbuster movie, but probably not the best way to promote like some niche software, right?
Exactly. Different tools for different products, different markets, and using a mix that complement each other. Create one unified message. That's key.
Okay, so a lot to consider with promotion. Not just a catchy jingle. It's about really understanding your audience, the right message, the right channels.
Precisely. And remember, all 4 Ps work together. They need to be aligned, integrated for a truly successful marketing strategy.
Okay, that was a great breakdown, really seeing how each P plays a role in creating that value for the customer. Now let's move to step 4, building and maintaining those profitable relationships we talked about earlier. What's the key concept here?
It all comes down to customer relationship management, CRM. Building and nurturing those profitable relationships by consistently delivering superior value and exceeding expectations.
So attracting customers isn't enough. You have to keep them coming back, turn them into fans.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Getting new customers can be expensive, takes time. But keeping your existing customers happy, that's where the magic happens.
So like building a friendship, you're constantly putting in the effort to make it stronger over time.
Great analogy. CRM is about trust, loyalty, that sense of mutual benefit. You want your customers to feel like they're part of something special, not just a number.
Okay, how do companies actually do CRM? What are the strategies?
Starts with understanding that perceived value. We talked about it before. Customers make decisions based on whether the benefits outweigh the costs in their minds.
Right, so it's not about the lowest price. It's delivering a value proposition that resonates.
Exactly. And another key part is customer satisfaction, making sure your product actually delivers on its promises, lives up to or exceeds the buyer's expectations.
So if you overpromise and underdeliver, that's a customer service nightmare.
Absolutely. Negative reviews, lost customers, a damaged reputation, not good. On the flip side, consistently exceed expectations. You create those delighted customers who are likely to become, advocates for your brand.
More sales, positive word of mouth, all that good stuff.
Right. But here's a point that's often missed: setting realistic expectations from the start. Don't overhype your product and then leave people disappointed.
So don't tell me my car can go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds if it actually takes 5.
Exactly. It's better to underpromise and overdeliver. Here's an example from your sources that illustrates this really well.
I love a good example. Lay it on me.
Say you're selling a car and you're emphasizing its stability at high speeds. You tell the customer it's rock solid at 180 miles per hour, but then at 175 it starts to wobble. They're going to be unhappy even if it's fine at 160, which is still incredibly fast.
Okay, I see the point. Managing those expectations, being authentic.
Right. Now, back to those CRM strategies. One common approach is segmenting your customer base based on their profitability. Might sound a bit ruthless, but it's about understanding the value of different segments and tailoring your approach.
So not treating all customers equally.
Not always, no. You might have those high-value customers, generate lots of revenue, focus on retaining those, maximizing their lifetime value. Your VIPs, the ones you roll out the red carpet for.
Makes sense. What about those less profitable customers? Just ignore them.
Not necessarily. Different strategies for different segments. For example, loyalty programs, reward repeat business, encourage those less profitable customers to spend more over time.
Like those airline miles or punch cards for coffee.
Exactly. Incentivizing the behavior you want. Another popular CRM strategy is personalized marketing, tailoring your message and offers to individual customers based on their history, preferences, what they've looked at online.
So treating each customer like an individual, building that personal connection.
Exactly. And technology is a big part of this. Databases, software to track interactions, analyze data, personalize things, really get to know your customers.
Wow, sounds complex. But it's essential for building a successful business, right?
Absolutely. Remember, it's much cheaper to keep existing customers happy than constantly chase new ones.
A bird in the hand, as they say.
Exactly.
So we've covered the first 4 steps: understanding the marketplace, designing that customer-driven strategy, constructing a winning marketing program, and building those customer relationships. What's that final step?
The payoff. Capturing value from your customers to create those profits and that customer equity.
Okay, so this is where we see the results. Tell me more.
Starts with customer loyalty and retention. If those earlier steps were done right, customers are happy, loyal, coming back for more, spreading the word, becoming those walking billboards for your brand.
The dream scenario.
Absolutely. And that loyalty translates into more sales, market share. It's a cycle. Happy customers, more sales, more profits, which lets you invest even more in creating value, making your customers happy.
Happy customers. Happy bottom line. But you mentioned something else, customer equity. What is that exactly?
Think of your customers as assets. You invest in equipment, real estate, stocks. Well, you can invest in building those strong relationships too. Customer equity is the total combined value of all your customer relationships, measure of the long-term value of your customer base.
So it's like a gold mine. You have to nurture it over time.
Precisely. A loyal, engaged customer base, one of your most valuable advantages.
So how do you build that customer equity? What's the secret?
Not really a secret. It's about doing all the things we've been talking about. Understanding needs and wants, creating value, strong relationships, exceeding expectations, delivering a positive experience consistently.
Playing the long game. Sustainable relationships that benefit everyone.
Exactly. A win-win.
We've covered a lot of ground here. All 5 steps of the marketing process. Any final thoughts before we move on to the next part of our deep dive?
Marketing's a holistic process focused on the customer, not just advertising or sales. It's about creating value at every touch point, building those lasting relationships.
Seeing the big picture. Making sure all the pieces fit.
Exactly.
Back again. In part 1, we hit those marketing fundamentals, needs versus wants, creating value, how markets work, that 5-step process.
That's the groundwork. Now we can build on that, right? Explore some specifics you'll see in the MBA world, and really anywhere business happens.
Exactly. This part, we're focusing on product strategy. One thing that really stood out to me from the materials, the idea that a product is more than just, well, the thing. It's like there are layers to it.
Absolutely. Different levels to a product. It's not just the physical thing or the service. It's the whole experience surrounding it.
Okay, ready to peel back those layers. What are these different levels then?
Imagine a bullseye. 3 rings. In the center, you've got the core product, the essential benefit, the problem it solves for the customer, the heart of it all.
So for a car, that's transportation. For a smartphone, communication, access to information.
You got it. That fundamental need or want. Moving on to the next ring, we have the actual product, the physical good, the specific service.
Okay, so with the car, the actual product is the engine, the wheels, the design, all that. Smartphone, it's the screen, the processing power, the apps, the camera.
Exactly. What the customer sees, touches, interacts with. But there's one more layer, the outer ring.
The augmented product. Now things are getting interesting. What's different about this level?
The augmented product, this is all the extra stuff. Services, benefits that enhance the core product, the actual product, makes the experience better, more satisfying.
So for a car, that might be a warranty, roadside assistance, maybe even a super fancy showroom where you feel like a VIP when you buy it.
Exactly. And for a smartphone, could be cloud storage, customer support that actually works, free accessories, even exclusive content that makes you feel like you're part of a special club.
Okay, seeing how these product levels are important. It's not just about the product, it's that whole ecosystem, the experience the company creates.
Right. Smart marketers get this. They're not just selling a product, they're selling an experience. And that experience needs to be good at every level. Core, actual, augmented. Now, switching gears a bit, let's talk about product classification.
Right, how do we categorize all the different types of products out there?
One way is based on how consumers buy them. 4 main categories. convenience products, shopping products, specialty products, and unsought products.
Okay, logical. Let's start with convenience products. What makes them unique?
These are those everyday items, things people buy frequently without much effort. They're not comparing prices, features. They just grab and go.
Snacks, drinks, toiletries, basic groceries, things you just pick up on autopilot.
Exactly. Staples of life. Widely available, inexpensive.
Makes sense. Shopping products then. How are they different?
Shopping products are items where consumers invest more time, effort before they buy. They shop around, compare prices, features, the quality, style, all that.
So clothes, furniture, appliances, things where you put more thought into it because they're more expensive and you don't buy them as often.
Well, you got it. Customers are more involved in the decision. They're looking for that value. Now, specialty products.
Okay, what makes something special?
Specialty products, these have unique characteristics or maybe a specific brand that some consumers are willing to go out of their way for. They're brand loyal, have particular needs that these products meet.
So luxury cars, designer clothes, high-end electronics, things with a devoted following that people are really passionate about.
Exactly. Customers are often willing to travel further, pay a premium, even wait for these products. Not looking for a deal, they're looking for that experience, that status.
Okay, makes sense. We've got convenience, shopping, specialty, unsought products. That last category, what makes them different?
Unsought products, these are things consumers either don't know about or don't normally think about buying. They might not even know they need it until a problem comes up or they see some marketing about it.
So things like life insurance, funeral services, or those new inventions that solve a problem you didn't even know you had.
Precisely. These products often need more marketing push to create awareness because people aren't actively looking for them.
Okay, I see how this classification helps marketers, like a roadmap for understanding how different products are bought, used, and how to market them differently.
Exactly. Marketing a pack of gum is totally different from marketing a yacht. Understanding your target and their buying behavior is everything.
Okay, so we've explored those broader product categories. Let's zoom in a bit. What are some of the individual product decisions that marketers face?
Well, it starts with product attributes, those specific features, characteristics, quality, functionality, the style, the design, even the packaging.
So decisions about what features to include, the look and feel, how well it's made, and even how it's presented.
Precisely. These attributes are critical. They influence how the customer perceives value. Shoddy quality, missing features not good. Doesn't matter how slick your marketing is.
Right. You can't polish a turd. So those core attributes got to be on